Hello and welcome to a new video in the Excel function series. Today I will talk about two functions, about the XLOOKUP function and the XMATCH function. You can also take a look at my other video covering those both topics. Also, there are multiple exercises you can try on this. So, what does the XLOOKUP function do? The XLOOKUP function searches in an array or range an item and then returns the corresponding item of the first match. So sounds complicated, we'll later step on this. And the XMATCH function is quite similar, but instead of returning like the corresponding item, it returns the item's relative position. You see here both syntaxes, and as you can see here, there is a lot of additional optional arguments. The most important arguments for XLOOKUP is the lookup value, the lookup array, and the return array. And also XMATCH has also a few optional arguments. Most important are the lookup value and the lookup array. There's also the possibility to do multiple criteria XLOOKUP. Therefore, you only need to make an AND sign in between the lookup values and in between the lookup arrays. But you need to pay attention for this because text sorting is different than number sorting, and I would therefore highly recommend to not mix their text values and number values, so keep it separate or use other methods if you want to do some lookup stuff on this. So let's look what XLOOKUP do. So XLOOKUP here for this value in the revenue array and return the company name. And you see here there's an error because now the default mode is an exact match, but we want to have an exact match or the next larger revenue there. And now we have Silvertech Welding because Silvertech Welding is the company who has the nearest value to 1 million. So the nearest at least 1 million or above. And if you do here an XMATCH on, XMATCH will return the relative position, so you don't need a return array. And also the match mode is one right after the lookup array. So here you see here, because we've covered the whole array, the whole column, you could also only cover this here. So it's 67, otherwise it's 68. And you see here Silvertech is in row 68. So what XMATCH does is returns a position, and if you know the index function, you could say that the XLOOKUP is wrong column, that the XLOOKUP is combining like an XMATCH and an index in one function. So therefore look for the last company out of Germany, country is Germany, company name is the return array, and we want to have the search from last to first, close the bracket, and rising tide apparel. The last on the list is the first company from Germany. You can also return the relative position here. You don't need the return array. Also the match mode comes further. And you see here rising tide apparel, it was the search mode, is in row 101. What you could also do here is do what I call a max mode or a min mode or something like this. So XLOOKUP after really high number. So like for example for the EBIT, this shouldn't be over 1 million. This is your lookup array, this is your return array, and you want to have exact match or next smaller item. And you see Coastal Breeze Enterprises has the highest EBIT. And also XMATCH is possible here. Don't need the return array. Match mode should be here, 45. 45, it's around 320, 332 looks like the maximum here. So yeah, it is the maximum. But with doing this, you would have one problem. So what if for, however, I don't know, this is larger than 1 million. So larger than the value you search for. Then you would have an error here, and I would therefore highly recommend to use here instead of a random number, the maximum of those or minimum of those columns or arrays to don't go into an error here. Also in esports cases. So that's a little bit about XLOOKUP XMATCH. So multiple criteria XLOOKUP is working. Please keep out for the sorting and also try to use or get used to the optional arguments. They can be quite handy. Also, I did something on two-dimensional lookups. You can view this on my channel. I will possibly also link this up in the corner there. So two-dimensional lookups are also quite cool. And otherwise, yeah, also not worth noticing is like that for the XLOOKUP function, your return lookup array and your return array should be the same or needs to be the same size. Otherwise, this will not work. So, for example, here, if I reference here a whole column and here only 199 columns, then rows I would have here a hashtag value error. And yeah, we'll see that there is an error, but yeah, you better don't make this error first. So thank you for attention. I promise the next video on my channel, or at least on the Excel function series, will be about reduce. I know I'm a little bit behind schedule, so forgive me. Thank you for attention. See you next time.